Hello, my name is Bill Hoosier, and I work at the Aging and Disability Resource Center of Dane County, and also have the pleasure of being the chairperson for the Falls Free Dane Coalition, led by Safe Communities. And Ashley, please introduce
Hi,
yourself.
sure. I'm Ashley Hillman. I'm the Director of Program Partnerships at Safe Communities and have the opportunity to work with Bill and members of the Falls Free Day Coalition.
So, Ashley, what drew you to this field and topic?
Great question. I think I have always been interested in how we as a community can build partnerships and programs to help people. And the population that I've always been drawn to has happened to be older adults. So every job I've had has been working with older adults in some way, shape, or form. And Safe Communities was a really great fit for me and draw because Safe Communities itself is built off of a World Health Organization model where we look at the top causes of injury, death in a certain area. For us, that's Dane County. And then we build coalitions around those top causes of injury, death. So falls among older adults is one of our focus areas. And we use data every single day to drive the work that we do, the partnerships we build, and we do that with the Falls Free Dane Coalition as well.
So, tell me a little bit more about the data. Where do you get that information from?
Great question. I feel like we're always trying to find data that will help us inform the practice of what we do. So inform programming and partnerships, and then also using data to help us see what impacts are being made in the community so that we can adjust and course correct as needed. So one of the really great data sources that we have access to is through Dane County Emergency Management, and we're able to get almost real-time data each year. And that data shows us lots of different things, but one of which is where are falls occurring throughout the county, and that is measured by calls to EMS. So we're able to know where are calls happening throughout the county, who is making those calls, and where they're coming from.
And I think we have a map that shows Dane County specific information um, that highlights the county. And so these areas in red and lighter red and darker red, tell us more about that.
Yeah, so this is an example of one of the data graphics that we get from emergency management. And you can see the darker red spots are where there's higher call volume to 911 specifically for falls. So we used this particular data to help us determine, in this example, where to hold our annual falls prevention event in September.
So I see one of the areas that you circled that is a suburb of Dane County or Stoughton. And that has, compared to other rural areas, that really stood out.
Yeah, that stood out to us as a coalition too. And we thought, we've got really great partnerships in Stoughton. So why don't we focus on that area? Why don't we plan our annual event, which takes place during National Falls Prevention Awareness Month, and ours in Dane County is called Only Leaves Should Fall. So we thought, why don't we plan our event in Stoughton with the partnerships we have in Stoughton to try to do a better job at reaching that population?
So yeah, Only Leaves Should Fall. So this was an event that was held in Stoughton in 2023. Tell me more about this program.
So this event has been hosted and implemented in Dane County, courtesy of the Falls Free Dane Coalition, for many, many years now, well over 10 years. And the event itself is a really cool partnership with Madison College, the OTA program, and then UW-Madison's pharmacy, physical therapy, and nursing programs. So what we do is we change locations every year. So in 2023, we chose Stoughton, and that's very intentional. We try to change the location in an effort to reach everybody in Dane County and to make the program more accessible. It's free, And we do require registration because we provide lunch. We have a keynote speaker, and we're very grateful to Dr. Zorba Pastor, who has served as our keynote speaker for the past several years now. And what's so interesting about this event, and I think valuable, is that we have so many students who work, in very small groups with the participants, and participants are given what we call a checklist, a report card. And as participants progress through a series of screenings, which includes balance, strength, gait, vision, medication, cognition, and home safety, and blood pressure, then by the end of the event, they can kind of look on their checklist and see, first of all, are they at risk of falling? And
Mhm.
then secondly, what could be attributed to that risk? Like, what is it? Is it low blood pressure? Is it vision? And then the participants will sit down with their student helper, their student advocate, and make some goals and figure out, well, I know I can identify this is my risk of falling. This is why. And now what community resources are available to me so that I can, go and stay upright, healthy, and independent. And then we have resource booths so that we're able to direct people to what is available to them. We're fortunate we have a ton of resources in Dane County, and a lot of our Falls Free Dane Coalition members are involved in programming and services that help people on their falls prevention journey. So it's a really cool event. It's like a half a day long, and we were able to work with Stoughton in 2023 based on that data we received from Dane County Emergency Management.
So it was really that data that was what helped you pick Stoughton as the location for that year.
That's right. Yep. Because every year, usually in March or so, we start having a discussion about only leaves should fall and trying to identify where that event should take place. And, we do try to change the location, but the timing just was really perfect because we had our partner at Dane County Emergency Management actually present the previous year's call for fall data to us, and we saw that Stoughton had a kind of an uptick in those calls for falls. So it made good sense to focus on Stoughton.
And oh, here's some pictures of the event itself. So I can see Dr. Pastor. Now, these students, are they, do they specialize in different areas?
Yeah, that's, I think, what brings so much value to the event is that these students are pharmacy students, they're physical therapy students, occupational therapy students, and nursing students. And so this is a great experience for them as well, where they get to actually practice, in a real world setting, what they're learning in the classroom. And we provide evaluations for every event we have, and the students are the highlight every single year. Because as you can see just from these pictures, they're very engaged. Participants love interacting with them. They get a lot of one-on-one attention, progressing through the screenings and then actually having a discussion with their student advocate about personal goals that they want to set for themselves.
Well, I see a lot of smiles on their faces in these pictures, and looks like everybody gets something. There's bags there and some goodies, I assume that, and plus a free lunch, and that's always a good thing. Um,
Yeah, we rely on our coalition members to provide freebies or swag for participants. So, we try to make that meaningful too, and include things that will be helpful for people like night lights, or sometimes we even have some prizes or free giveaways like yak tracks and walking poles that we're able to provide for participants too.
so I know that the pharmacy students, they will look at a person's list of medications. And so can you talk a little bit more about what each station or what what the students work on when they meet with people there?
Yeah, yeah. So we know from the Centers for Disease Control and through the research that's done on falls prevention that we have strategies in place that can help people actually prevent a fall. So if we look at medication management and adverse drug events that might be taking place, and if we look at home safety and vision and strength and balance, those are all things that are very tangible that we can, kind of have control over in our own lives to help prevent a fall. So the pharmacy students will look at an individual's medications and, kind of help identify where they might make a recommendation to talk to a pharmacist or a primary care provider about medications that they're taking. And then the physical therapy students, they will assess gait, strength, and balance through a few simple assessments, and then can make recommendations for community-based classes like stepping on, or ballroom basics for balance, or parkour, or Tai Chi. There are so many different options. And then the occupational therapy students, they look at home safety and cognition, and they've also helped in conjunction with farm nursing on blood pressure and vision as well. And so we actually, well, we don't, but the students, they take blood pressure and can offer recommendations to participants on the results of that screening. They do vision screening, and then, just I think it's just being able to know in real time what the result is from the screenings, and then to be directed immediately to resources that are in our community. And, in Stoughton, there's such strong partnerships there through Stoughton Health, through the Stoughton Senior Center. And they were all there at the event, so we can literally direct people immediately to resources that hopefully will be beneficial to them.
Wow, it sounds like a variety of opportunities for people who are concerned about falling to learn what their fall risk factors are based upon these different interactions with the students and the different tests and things that they look at. How satisfied are people with the event? And how do you know?
So that's a great question. We do provide an evaluation at every Only Leave Should Fall event. You can see on the screen, this is the one that we used in Stoughton in 2023. We had around 50 attendees at this particular Only Leave Should Fall event and a 76% survey response rate. And we also offered follow-up around 30 days after the event. So people, if they wanted to, they could provide their name and contact information. And then someone from our coalition actually made calls to individuals to see if they had any additional questions, to see if we could help connect them to a different resource in the community. And the response rates are always extremely positive. Like I mentioned, the students are a huge highlight of this event. And I think it's just overwhelming that participants say, I learned something at this event. It was what I was looking for. The screenings were helpful. And there was one story actually from this particular event. I was doing the follow-up calls, and a lady said, in the freebie bag that we received, there was a nightlight. And I guess her bedroom was on the second floor. And she said that she would go downstairs during the night, almost every night in the dark.
Mm.
And she said, I just, had never gotten a nightlight. So I put that nightlight at the bottom of the stairs and had so much more security and confidence being able to see. And it was a game changer for her. And it was something so simple, something as simple as a nightlight that just really, I think, improved her quality of life and her confidence. And this is just a side note, but research also shows that a fear of falling is a predictive factor for a future fall. So not having that fear of falling will maybe help her not fall in the future.
Wow, and you said almost everyone comes away with something they've learned, something they can take home with them, and maybe take a class, maybe remove a rug, some real life things that can make a difference.
That's right. Yeah, and that's the goal of this event is to, provide some really simple things that people can do, and even just the awareness. I think a lot of people just aren't aware of the impact that a fall can have on yourself, but also on the people within your network, your friends, your family, your community. Um, and so I think with this event, it's helpful just to offer it in the community first of all, but when we have data that can help inform where we're offering it, to have the greatest impact, hopefully. And we did see from this event that the majority of participants were from the Stoughton community, which was the goal. That's what we were hoping to do is reach people in that community. And then maybe, some of the people who were there will not have to call 911 in that next, 12 months from experiencing a fall. So hopefully that's the goal.
Well, Ashley, it sounds wonderful. If people want to learn more about safe communities and the different programs that you offer, what's the best way to reach you?
Always go to our website here on the screen. It's safecommunities.org. And you can find the falls prevention tab where there'll be lots of resources about classes that are being offered in the community and events that are coming up. And also, in collaboration actually with Stoughton Health, we produced several vodcasts, so they're videos and they're about certain topics related to falls prevention, and those are also on our website as well. And then you can also just call the old-fashioned way.
And that phone number?
608-235-1957.
Well, Ashley, thanks so much for sharing this important information. And thank you for all the work that you and Safe Communities are doing to improve the quality of life for Dane County residents.
Thanks, Bill, and thanks for being the chair of our Falls Free Dane Coalition. It takes a village.